So I don't even know where to begin. It's such an emotionally draining thing, like just the Survivor finale and just going through all the emotions and all that. So I wasn't gonna go live tonight, and then long story short, I got cast in a movie. It was a 3-day set. I would love to tell you what the movie is, and I would love to tell you what actor I got to work with all 3 days that you guys for sure know. He's a really famous actor, and but I can't. I'm under an NDA. I thought I was gonna be filming late tonight, and I wasn't. So I didn't even think I'd get to see the finale. So I was kind of bummed, and so I had to cancel. Ironically, out of I think what 12 live recaps I've done, I believe 8 of them, 80% of them probably my guest canceled, and then I had to have a backup guest, and then sometimes they canceled. This was not easy to do. But this time, actually, I had to cancel on my guest because I thought I was gonna be filming that movie. So I got done with it. I had to shave my beard for the movie. So I look probably really weird compared to the last few times you've seen me. So let's recap this finale. I'm just gonna say it right away. D1. Okay. And I kind of felt, I'll be honest. I mean, I picked Brandon Donlin to win from the get go. And once he was gone on episode 2, I didn't know who to pick. But I would say after the merge, the Reba 4 seemed so strong and D seemed to be controlling it. It seemed obvious to me that's who it was. But then they're so good at editing. I thought, oh, great. We're going to have the Gabler effect. And then Jake's going to end up winning, basically. And I did post Robin's group, which is by far my favorite Facebook group. It's the largest one. Go check them out. I I did post in there that Jake was the biggest loser in Survivor history. Now, I wish I would have worded that differently because context is important. Jake as a human being seems like a fine guy. If I had a daughter, I would let him date her. Seems like his heart's in the right place. I mean, he swore on his grandma and got upset when someone didn't keep their word. Lost 100 pounds as an attorney, very smart guy. Um, did he catch some bad breaks? Of course. Did he get unlucky? Of course. But as far as losing goes in the context of Survivor, he couldn't get anything right. I mean, that poor guy, every time he tried to pull a move, it just didn't go his way. And you couldn't help but feel for the guy, especially the last few episodes, because it's like, you know, it's like if you watch back this season, you will see every episode Jake completely screwed something up. Bless his heart. But anyway, they opened the episode up with Austin forgiving D for not telling him about the blind side on Drew. That was day 24, but the beginning of the episode, and it was definitely one of those, like, is he gonna forgive her for real? And in that moment, I thought, okay, I don't know that he can beat D because he didn't have that dog in him. You know what I mean? Like he was so, again, a great guy, but didn't have the what he needed. He almost won. He was one vote away from winning, but in that moment, I thought he can't. He just can't. I mean, D could find a way to lie around, Mama Julie, her number one, but it didn't seem like he could ever find a way to lie around what he needed to do. Um, when they were doing the lock, the challenge for the advantage, and Jake, he had to get the combo right, and there was I think 18 coconuts, which was I think JT's season, and then there's 48 something that was Denise's season, and there was Gabler's season, it was 42 or something like that, and that was the code. When he started doing that, I realized, wow, he is a super fan. Prior to that, I knew he was intelligent, but I didn't realize like Jake is a super fan. Like this guy, he knows this game forward and backward. And I guess that made it all the more disappointing to me that he just couldn't seem to get, anything going for him, and to the people saying, well, he made it to the end. Of course he made it to the end. How could you not take Jake? We've been saying that for the last 3 episodes. You'd be crazy not to take Jake to the end because he wasn't going to get any votes, and sure enough, he didn't. Even though I thought Caleb, when he was walking up to vote, I thought Caleb yelled Jake. I don't know what that was all about because in the video it showed that he did not vote for him. So I'm not sure what happened to that. Then, in true, let's make Jake look like an idiot fashion, they I've never seen Jeff Probst do this. After Austin won the immunity challenge, he goes over and points out to Jake that was missing the piece. It was kind of like hidden. I don't recall Jeff ever like rubbing it in like that necessarily, or just pointing out, "Hey, here's why you lost." Everyone loses, except for one person per immunity challenge. But I've never seen him do that, And I thought that was just the emphasis that this season was putting on showing Jake losing to the point where we're thinking he's going to win this game because he's losing so much. I mean, it was bizarre. Um, then, in typical fashion, again to make Jake look like the biggest loser in Survivor history, he tells Austin about his idol. And you could feel, I could feel you, the viewer watching this, going, breathing that in and going, "Oh god, he did not just do that." Like, that was the moment when I realized there's no way he's winning this. There's just no way. One because and then in the very next scene, not only does he say to tell Austin he has idol, Austin immediately says, "Why would he tell me that?" And then he goes and tells everyone, and by the end of that tribal, everybody knew he had or before that tribal, everybody knew he had that idol. And it was just like, "Oh, how dumb." Um, I'm not gonna lie. I got goosebumps for the first time this season when Jake played that idol for Katura because I thought finally he made a move. He's actually playing this game. Remember the soundbite at the tribal council where he said, "Oh wow, we're playing Survivor now," or "They're playing Survivor." It's like, yeah, where have you been? Why aren't you playing? And that was the first moment I thought he's playing. And then they start reading the votes, and you go, "Oh my god, he's either going home or he just completely played it wrong," and he did. He completely played it wrong. I'm surprised he didn't go home. That was oh gosh, I just can't believe Couture changed her vote. Which, let's be honest, had Couture not changed her vote, D would not have won. Had D not won, boy, I don't know. I mean, if Austin has immunity, right? I don't know. I don't know how that would have played out. Either way, I felt like Austin was going to be in the final three. Maybe Couture wouldn't have taken him, but Jake would have. He would have taken himself, obviously, and then D would have taken him. So he played a good game to get himself where he was, for sure. Um, I love the soundbite where Julie gives Couture a hug or vice versa, and she whispers to her, something about, "Oh, you should be an attorney." And I'm thinking, "Oh my god, here we go." And I love the very end of the episode when Jeff Probst goes, "We have three attorneys that all lied about being attorneys," and at the very end, and then Jake said, "Well, I was the most kind of honest of the attorneys," because he was a public defender, close enough. But I thought that was funny. One thing we learned in this episode that we did not know previously is that Austin was an alternate. I thought, and I could be wrong, that Brandon Donlin was also an alternate. That's how we knew that, because when I was talking to Brandon, that's how we knew that he was going to be on the show. He knew he was going to be on the show and had plenty of time to train, and we all thought he didn't train, even though as it turns out he did train. He just didn't train maybe necessarily. What's up, Robin? He didn't necessarily train as hard as maybe you or I would. And I told Brandon, I said, "Man, go get buff, take an MMA fight, flip the script on how they have made you out to be this complete wuss. Come back. There's your story." And I think I'd love to see him on the show again. Um, Jake, another one. I think Jake and Emily, those two have chances at coming back and playing again. Jake, because of, you know, the need for redemption, and Emily just, you know, she just played an interesting game, I guess you could say. Other than that, out of that this season, I don't know who else I could really see playing again, especially since they haven't been bringing back players anyway. And they just showed us the cast for season 46 coming up in February, and once again, there were no returning players that we know of. So um, it'll be interesting. The problem with not bringing back returning players is you can never really have someone that's, a legend or something like that, because for someone to be a legend in the game, or, to be the best ever, or just be in those kind of conversations, they have to play more than once. And that hasn't been a thing. So I don't know. All in all, was this a good season? In my opinion, yes, absolutely. It got off to a rough start with people quitting. And even though I think some of that was, I don't know that those people were necessarily cast intentionally because they would quit like they've done in the past, but I guarantee you, they got more submissions from people that would not normally play Survivor this season because of the quitting, because the bar was just lowered so low. What's up, Sherry? Um, I I was talking to on this movie that I was filming. The reason why I didn't think I was going to get to do this tonight, I was talking to a guy, and I didn't know he was a Survivor fan or anything like that, and he says that he wanted to turn in his tape without knowing I'd walked across the country to get on Survivor, without knowing anything about me. And he said, "Greg, I won't apply anymore though, because I have a boring life, and I just and I'm like that's he was so genuine and I loved it. I thought, man, if I was a casting director and I found this guy just talking like that, I would have totally put him through the next round. So I don't know. They need to raise the age of some of these contestants. All 28-year-olds. I mean, if you're going to have a diverse cast as far as ethnicities go, then you should have a diverse cast as far as ages go as well. Because to have two 40-year-olds on there, and I'm 40 myself, feeling like I'm the old man in the group, that's a weird feeling because they're all 28-year-olds. I really want to see. I mean, I get that like you can't have a ton of older people on the show just from the physical aspect of it. I know they're not doing really gender related challenges. Most of the challenges are gender neutral, but you still have to be in good enough shape to compete, right? For the most part. So I don't know how they're going to do that with because you can only. I mean, I was with a guy that was 80 years old, and this guy was holy crap. He was so fit. He'd run circles around most people. Cast somebody like that. Cast an 80-year-old that's in better shape than most 20-year-olds. And on top of that, I'll say this: cast a bunch. If you're going to cast some 20-year-olds, make them people that aren't in good shape. I don't want to pick on Brandon, but maybe like Brandon. Just give us a little more variety next time. But again, all in all, I don't know that I've ever really said. There's maybe been one Survivor season and that I was like, oh, that was a bad season. But other than that, like, I don't know how people can complain about 90-minute episodes. I don't know how people can complain about Survivor in general. It's a social experiment. It's like, how can you get mad about anything? It's literally an experiment. Um, so I don't know. I do hope that all of you apply. I hope one day that I get to see you all on the show, and I hope I get closure. That's part of why I'm doing this. I need closure. I've been searching for it up and down. If I get on Survivor someday, that's great. That'll give me closure. If the show gets canceled, that would be sad, but that would give me closure. I would love to find some sort of black and white. So I don't know what that looks like though, and I hope I find it someday. And I appreciate all your kind words, especially Robin. You've been so awesome. Someone on my page said that they thought uh, Sia was going to give a prize to Jake. Your thoughts? I think Emily is a good candidate. Yeah, I actually said that to myself. I was like, the player of the game, or Sia is, I assume, watching it just like we are, unless she gets a preview, a pre-showing, or something like that. So we'll probably know soon if she's going to give someone the what this player bonus. And I don't know how it would be anyone other than Jake. You know what I mean? I mean, there was some good look, Emily played a great game. Um she would be probably number 2, but I think Jake stole everyone's heart in the end, really. I really do. Um my paid metrics of 64.8 thousand show 55 to 64 age range. Yeah. So see what I mean? The age range for Robin. So Robin's group is a great case study for Survivor producers, Survivor fans, because you can get an idea of things that people would pay to have that kind of research data. And her data shows that the most people that on her page are 55 to 64. Now, to be fair, most people on Facebook are a little bit older as well. So you're missing out the Instagram. Obviously, the age is going to be younger. But the fact that the majority of your viewers of your members of your group are between 55 and 64, I think that does at least give some credence that we need older contestants. um, Diversity isn't just skin color and ethnicity. Diversity is also age. It's also IQ. I'm fine with having a bunch of attorneys and people like Drew that are smart, have obviously high Mensa scores, but put a couple boneheads like me on there. You know what I mean? People that can't remember who won the season. Just why not? Anyway. um I don't know if I'm gonna do this for season 46. It was a lot of time. Truthfully, I do love entertaining. I got bit by that bug after walking across the country back in '09, but I like vlogging more. That's to me, I'm only doing movies and reality shows. I've done about 100 of them. So if you do the math, in 10 years, 100 shows, um, what is that? 10 a year? Or no, 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 no. Yeah, it's about 10 a year on average, one a month. It's great, but it's not like they come in bunches. It's not exactly one a month. But I think for me personally, I would rather stick to vlogging than doing reality TV and movies just because I can control the narrative and I can control like the creative aspect of it. When you do a movie or a reality show, they kind of control it to a degree. So maybe I'll do that. I'll definitely continue doing my vlogs, but as far as season 46 and Survivor, I don't know. I mean, I loved having people. I had so many cool guests, people that I would not normally have met, that I met through these groups and from doing these live recaps, people that were um, uh, handicapped, people that were already on Survivor, people that were page admins, people that were total strangers, people that, liked and didn't like the show, and I love that. I really did enjoy that, but it's a lot of work, and I don't know that I don't know. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll get bit by the bug again when season 46 starts rolling around and the cast rolls out. Maybe I'll do some assessments. So I don't know. We'll see. But in the meantime, at least between now and then, I'll focus my time and energy. I'm getting ready to move and all that stuff, so I got a lot going on. But I'll focus on vlogs. So stick with me, guys. Watch the vlogs. I'll keep making them. And well, Robin, thank you for loving my guest. You were a great guest. The problem with me and Robin is if we're live together, we can talk forever and ever and ever and ever. And that's what I love about you, Robin. You're easy to talk to. You're knowledgeable. You make me think, and Josh too. You guys did such a good job of making me think things that I never thought before. And doing these made me realize if I ever get to play the game, I am screwed from a strategic level because I just some of the things I didn't think through as well as I thought I did. I more think of like editing things and like when they're all eating at the reward, why aren't they looking for idols, that kind of stuff, more so than it's hard to be an analytical person and to think 4 moves ahead who you need to get rid of. That's difficult. If you're playing chess is not easy. And I think Emily was playing chess as far as Survivor goes, and I would have been playing like maybe like checkers, but like, or Monopoly, but I would have been playing like the Simpsons version or something like that. I wouldn't have been playing the normal version. So, um, anyway, I appreciate you guys sticking with me this season and watching and tuning in and giving me your 2 cents. And I hope everyone got something out of this and I didn't offend anybody or hurt anybody's feelings or anything like that. That's never my goal. I do kind of regret my post earlier calling Jake a loser because I do think he's a good person. I just meant in the context of Survivor, he just couldn't get anything right. I mean, the poor guy. Watch back the season and you'll see every episode he completely screwed something up. I mean, he did find an idol, and then he blew it. He did get an advantage, and then he blew it. You know what I mean? Like, so he did do some good things, but he squandered all those things. So I don't know. You guys have been awesome. This movie that I just filmed today should come out. It's a Christmas movie, so it should come out before next Christmas. I'll be sure to post it if anybody wants to check it out. It's really funny. The actor in it is someone you guys all know and love. I guarantee it. I'll give you this much of a hint. He was popular in the early 2000s. He had 2 movies that for sure all of you have seen. They're incredibly successful movies, but you would definitely know him for sure. And actually, when I saw him on set Monday, I thought he was Jeff Probst at first. I swear to God, I almost fainted because I looked at him, and it obviously they're not the same person. Oh man, I might have told you guys too much. Maybe you know now. Anyway, um, yeah, this has been fun, and hopefully we get to do it again tomorrow. I should get one more delete. I'll find one more secret deleted scene that we didn't get to see tonight, hopefully, and I'll put that out, and then that'll probably be my last Survivor video for a while. I do still need to make my Survivor audition for this season. I haven't done that yet, and I encourage all of you to do it as well. Um, I can envy you without being jealous, and I hope you guys can do the same because I would love to see all of you on there. I hope everyone gets the opportunities I have, and I've had, and man, God, I just want closure. I don't know if this got me any closer to closure, but I sure hope so. Sherry said things like that happen to people in real life every day. Some people don't get a break, but they survive. Yeah, yeah, and I think like the little guy could relate with Jake because of that. You know what I mean? Because he did catch so many breaks and he did keep going, and I could admire that for sure. I just have to find some humor in the fact that he just couldn't get anything right. Everything he did just completely, you know. Look, I don't think Jake's story is written. You know what I mean? I just think there's more to his story. I see them bringing him back. I just do. I just got that vibe, and I hope if he sees what I wrote, he can take it with a sense of humor and not think somebody hates him because he's a loser because he's a smart guy for sure. He passed the bar, and he's a nice guy, no doubt about it. You could see that throughout the season, and he was a person of his word. He just played a bad game. you know, I don't. There's no real excuses for it other than that. But anyway, you guys have been great. Yeah, yeah. Hopefully, I'll see you season 46. Otherwise, check out my vlogs. And I can't believe out of everybody I know that nobody knows Jeff Probst well enough to be like, hey, just give this guy 5 minutes of your time so he can move on with his life. So if you're that person, tell Jeff Probst to give me 5 minutes of his time so I can move on with my life. I want closure. I want to start a family. There's a lot of things I want to do, but I've got to get closure first. So if you can help me with that, I'm forever grateful. If not, best advice I ever received in my entire life was from my dad, and he said, you can never have too many friends. So thank you for being a friend. See you guys.